95, so it's pretty much a guarantee we're going to get up to at least 100 this afternoon. The record is 101, so another record in jeopardy. Expect some of that African dust to stick around most of the week. Temperatures right around 100 each and every day. Some very, very small chances of rain mixed in there. Wednesday, maybe Friday, maybe Saturday, but nothing that really jumps off the page, guys. More of this heat throughout the rest of the week.
Ow. All right. We've been warned.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you so much for watching. That is it for the news at noon.
SA Live starts right now.
Celebrate San Antonio. Coming to you live from historic Market Square. This is SA Live.
Oh, hello and happy Monday. That's right. There's a little bit of a breeze outside. It's going to kind of feel more like a hair dryer blowing in your face, I think. Okay, but there's something out there, right? Good afternoon. I'm Fiona Garcia. We're inside here in the AC.
Yes. Thank goodness for the AC. I'm Jen Tobias Strusky, and yes, we all know how hot it was this weekend. It's still so hot out there, but we want to know, what will you let that temperature get to? I guess how high, right? Can you tolerate it?
In your house?
Yes. Yes.
Whew, that's a tough one. I mean, I guess, okay, I might be a wimp. Maybe like 75.
I think the average person might say like 78, 70, but I get you. I'm with you. I'm with you, Fiona. I'm with you. Okay. Also, we want to know if you have any tips, maybe, if your AC breaks.
If your AC has gone out, and we bring this up because it's happened to both of us, okay, and mine went weeks, okay, and we were keeping cool by just making sure all the blinds were closed, you know, so the sun doesn't get into the house, and you know, we had one of the little portable coolers, and everybody huddled in that, you know, room at night. So, you know, we survived with fans too, right?
Yes, that's lots of fans. So we want to know what your ideas are to keep your house cooler if your AC, even if it is working, right? You got to conserve. So let us know at KSAT, SA Live KSAT on Facebook or Twitter. We may share those answers. I might even use some of those ideas.
Yes, help us.
Yes,
all right.
Please.
Well, Father's Day is coming up, and Dad deserves the best. You might think he's tough to shop for, but sometimes a great homemade meal, well, of course that's going to put a smile on his face, right?
Of course. Chef Adrian Perez from Complete Eats is here to show us some amazing boards that you created for different kinds of dads, right?
Yes, I did. You know, the fun thing about charcuterie boards is everyone's discovering they can make one, because there's no rules. You kind of have to let go and let loose with it. And especially for Father's Day, the kids get involved. I mean, they get creative, they have fun, and it's funny to see what they come up with and what they choose to pick on. You can put anything on the board. And I designed 3 different boards for there's more than 3 dads in this world, but 3 different kinds of dads with 3 different personalities and what they would like on theirs.
Okay, so everything from kind of breakfast to brunch, what have we got?
Yes.
What are we starting out with?
So this is for the distinguished dad, the one who's a foodie. He has a little more of a adventurous palate, if you will.
Oh, this is so Mike. Okay, yes, go on.
And he's not here today, right?
Right.
So a little dip with a little bit of zested truffle, so something bold and, you know, very rare, a little on the pricey side, but still good for Father's Day. Parmesan crisps, of course, fresh fruits, and then I've got some pita bread, dark mustards with whole grains, things like that. You know, things that not the typical, you know, everyday person would turn to. It's like the stuff, the offbeat kind of things. Grapes are always going to be good. The color, you know, contrasted color like we talked about earlier. And then of course he pairs it up with a little bit of either whiskey or wine. And we've got the cava, the pata negra today, and this is going to be dry. So really dry, pairs well with the blackberries, pairs well with the strawberries, even goes with the cheese. We're doing the Wisconsin Merlot from Satori. So always go for the best. Wisconsin wins the most awards for best cheese every year. So Dad's going to get that high quality, you know, and you get about 600 flavors from one state. So the state of cheese, Wisconsin, makes varieties from all around the world. So they can fulfill everything you need on one board. So we're pairing that with the cava. And then of course, if he's a whiskey kind of guy, we've got Still Austin whiskey, buttery, smooth, delicious, get a good cigar on the side, and it's well made.
That is a complete charcuterie board. And in case folks missed it, you said kind of make sure, if you're doing the charcuterie board, height on the sides and separate like colors, right?
Absolutely. So, you know, I've got
kind of like the laundry.
Definitely. Which, yeah, right. And so we've got purple from the grapes and from the blackberries, but we keep them separate by a nice white stark cheese here, the yellows from the mustard, so everything has to contrast each other. And because you eat with your eyes first, right? Yes. So when he sees that board, it's going to be delicious before he even knows it's delicious. Okay? Yeah.
And you did a great job. It looks beautiful.
Thank you so much. We're going to eat this afterwards, so we'll see how it goes. Next is the health nut dad. So, or if dad needs to lose a couple pounds, he's trying to watch it. We've got whole grain peanut butter here, all fresh fruits, strawberries, blackberries, and grapes. A little bit of hummus, and then Parmesan cheese is going to be one of the leanest and lowest fat cheeses. So I've got the olive oil and herb Parmesan cheese from Sartoria again. And this is something I do personally. This is a little dessert treat. So this is a low calorie, no sugar ice cream, and plain vanilla, a little bit of fresh ground honey roasted peanut butter, a protein bar, his favorite of choice is fine, and some sugar-free raspberry jam to go on top of that. And I know, like, you're thinking sugar-free, no flavor. You know, look, it's so delicious. You can't miss it. You're not missing anything on this one. It's really, really good.
Guilt-free too.
Yeah,
There
high
you
in
go.
protein as well. So that's a good sweet treat for him. Something to surprise him. You know, it's different. I mean, that cures my sweet tooth any day. So I love that little combo there. And we're pairing that up with the True Colors here. This is just a fun bottle. It's beautiful. Again, dry, so you don't want to cut. You want to cut the sugar from, like a sweet wine has too much sugar content. This will have less, you know. And it's Pride Month, so I thought, hey, maybe if you have two dads, two birds, one stone. That's a beautiful
There
bottle for
you
both, right? And so those are going to be well together. Everything's low calorie and very simple and very light.
And it's nice to keep that in mind, that
Oh, yeah.
your dad's health
Right.
lifestyle that they have too. Like if they're trying to stay healthy,
Absolutely.
then I'm sure they'll appreciate that.
You know, when you have a cheat day or a special holiday, you don't always have to go overboard. You can make it delicious with, you know, good stuff for you as well.
Yes.
Hey, this is for y'all. Y'all can taste that one. That's it.
Oh, thank you.
Good about the, yeah, beautiful color, nice effervescence bubble.
Yes. You know, it's kind of feeling like Mother's Day. I'm just going to throw that out there right now.
Well, it's after 12, so I think, you know, we're good. Usually it's a morning show, so we're afternoon today. And then we've got the Sweet Tooth Dad. This has got good classic candies like lemon drops, Twizzlers, donut holes, pie, cherry pie. One of my personal favorites, the old school peanut brittle candies, the peanut butter candies. And then, of course, I've got some Giustaleppo. This is a cheese that you grill. And you just heat it up, it gets nice and charred on the outside. I topped it off with some of that sugar-free jam as well. And then a little bit of, you know, wine, inconspicuous wine seems to be the new thing. So we've got the rosé in a can there. Y'all can pop the top off that and pour that if you want. Or if you want something more sweet, you can do the Moscato. So Prima Mazzo, good, beautiful gold bottle, lightly sweet, not too heavy, and it has a nice full bubble.
Goes with the sweet theme anyway,
Right, exactly. So yeah, this is rosé. This is the house wine. You know, they dedicate some of their portions to the LGBT community for Pride Month, and we love that one because, you know, it's got a nice little balance. And it complements the sweetness in there without
pretty.
adding too much sweet. Yeah.
And the nostalgic candy, I love that.
Got
I love
about
that.
30 seconds left.
Okay, so if Dad's a gin drinker, we're gonna take a little gin today. I've cracked open some fresh coconuts here, add a little coconut water, a bit of fresh lime goes in there, evaporated milk, some gin, mix it, pour it in the coconut shell. And if, you know, I'm sure he's securing his masculinity, put some good edible flowers on top of that to make it pretty simple. There you go.
Presentation is everything. Chef
Yes.
Adrian, you're so good at this, and
You
people
got
can contact you, right, for
Yeah.
any kind of event.
Follow me at Chef Adrian TV, CompleteEats.com. You can find us, we do all kinds of events, boutique to large, okay?
All right, for more information on Chef Adrian Perez and Complete Eats, just head over to SALive.com. You can click the As Seen on SA Live tab, or there's that QR code right there on your screen. Everything looks delicious. Thank you.
All right, can't wait to eat some of this. All right, well, summer break, of course, is underway right here in San Antonio. And if you're looking for some fun activities to keep those kids busy, there's one spot that combines cooking and art classes. Yes.
Yes, keep them busy. It's the cutest little cottage, by the way, in Bernie, so we take you there. Take a look.
I've been holding classes at Miss Sue's Art Studio with my business, The Cooking Castle, for almost 2 years. So we started in June of 2020.
I love to have the ability to work with other people and to make new friends, and it's also an important life skill to learn how to learn to cook.
I have a background in nutrition and dietetics, but I've also been a family consumer science teacher for the past 17 years in public schools in Colorado and Florida. And our family moved down here smack dab in the middle of COVID, and I decided to make a change and open my own small business instead of working in public schools where I taught culinary arts to middle and high school age students. I really feel like it was a blessing to be able to do the classes and be able to work with kids with culinary arts during a kind of a crazy time in COVID.
Chef Julie is sharing her passion of cooking with classes that range from homemade chicken noodle soup to pastry desserts and even all the healthy stuff.
Our most favorite camps and recipes have probably been our cake decorating and cupcakes, but one of the maybe more surprising favorites are when kids work with healthy foods, and that's particularly my passion, is to be able to teach teach kids healthy recipes, working with vegetables and maybe some other foods that kids wouldn't normally like. And then when they actually make these foods and they have these hands-on experiences, sort of seeing that joy in them actually liking the food and wanting to go home and create that with their family and share that.
And cooking classes and camps are continuing to grow in popularity.
Our main concept here is to be able to offer kids the experience of cooking, life skills, working together in groups during Parents' Night Out. So we have that once or twice a month. We have camps during almost all spring breaks, summer breaks, winter breaks. And then we also offer parties where they can be private parties or birthday parties where kids can work hands-on with their friends to create a recipe as a birthday experience.
Oh, I love it. I've always sort of dreamed about having just a full fine arts program. So when Julie came to me, I was really excited that she brought something else to the whole genre, and it's really been fun because she's brought in ideas and I bring ideas, and together collectively we've really done well.
Miss Sue has been in this art studio for years. The partnership balances cooking and art classes by these two women entrepreneurs, allowing kids to be creative.
We love the kids first, so this is a ministry to us basically, and so we get to do what we love. We get up in the morning, and especially me, I know I get up in the morning and I'm like, do I really get to go play and paint and teach kids art for a living? This is pretty awesome. So I feel super abundantly blessed, and I see all kinds of kids from all different demographics. This is really about loving and nurturing the kids, and it's a place where I want the kids to be able to think for themselves, learn how to think for themselves and be creative.
I made this and I like it because it's the best thing that I've ever had.
I think one of the most important things beyond this just being a cooking class or camp is just the art of kids being able to work together in groups, those interpersonal skills, sometimes that we aren't able to touch on those in the schools because every kid's sitting at a desk.
And we have an acre and a half here. This whole half acre is designated for creative play and activity.
All right, they still have openings for June 20th through 23rd, the Fairies and Dragons Camp and the Bread of Life Camp, July 25th through the 28th.
Head on over to SALive.com for more information. Remember to click the As Seen on SA Live tab. All right, still ahead. Protecting your skin is a must during these hot South Texas summers, and that means more than just sunscreen. We check out some products that can keep your skin looking healthy and keep you looking good.
But first, these sweet faces, there they are, need your help. Lots of dogs are looking for their forever homes. Find out about a big event coming up to connect people and pets. It's next on SA Live. Saturday. I know. Downstairs only though, at least. So we're upstairs. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it messing up?
It just sounded a little
Like
muffled.
crackly or something? Or do I need to move it? Or maybe my hair, maybe.
ahead, say it. Aw, welcome back to SA Live. Well, so many pets. I know, precious. Okay, so a few homes. Local rescues are teaming up for a big event to find lots of furry friends, their forever homes.
We get to hold these little guys
know.
here. Debbie Davis from God's Dog Rescue is here to tell us about what they're doing to connect people with pets.
Yep.
Welcome.
Yep.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so folks don't need to wait, of course, for the upcoming event. This weekend. You've got furry friends like the ones we were holding looking for homes right now, right?
Absolutely, and we're like this Saturday we'll be at the PetSmart at Bandera Road. We do events every weekend. Rescues all have websites you can go on and find. We're all inundated and have plenty of cuteness like this to get new homes. Yep.
Who do I have here?
That is Kiss. This litter is named after Cookies. They were left in a bucket outside of a bingo hall. There were 7 of them. A sister rescue took 2 and we took 5. So this is Kiss and Biscotti. They're just 2 of the litter. We call them San Antonio Specials as their mix. We have no idea. As you can see, they definitely have different fathers because they don't look alike at all.
So cute. Now, you said right now you're at double the capacity, right, than you normally are. So you really do need people to come out and help, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking for, adoptions are always important. We have over 600 in the rescue right now, which is actually double what we normally carry. But the owner surrender rate, the dump rate in the city right now is huge. And so we're definitely struggling.
Okay. And how can folks help?
Adopt. It's always going to be one. There are, probably 50 rescues here in San Antonio that are definitely in need, and they all have great homes. And you're getting a fully vetted animal. When you adopt from us, these puppies at this age, because they're just 9 weeks old, will be 8 to 9 weeks old. They'll be already fixed, microchipped. They'll have had at least 2 boosters. Our adults are already had rabies. They're fully vetted, so it's a great way to bring in a family member that's already been taken care of for you.
And what do folks need to remember when they adopt?
To adopt, at least from our rescue, and I know most of the rescues we work with are about the same, your current animals need to be fixed. They need to be current on heartworm prevention and their shots, and they need to be members of the family, not yard ornaments.
Yep. So keep them inside, especially right now.
Especially right now.
Hot.
Yeah. It's the heat is really tough on them right now.
And speaking of the heat, you have a call out right now for people to help, right?
We do. We had one in February with the winter little blitz that we had, and we actually have a call out right now trying to find foster homes for our furry friends. Because we've got a lot of adults that have lots of hair, and so while we're in this kind of crazy, spike of heat, it's be awesome to get them into homes.
And your event that's happening, you're teaming up with a lot of other rescues as well.
Yeah, we're super excited. We have rented the Shrine Auditorium on 1604 between 281 and Stone Oak, and it's from 11 to 6 on June 25th, and we've got 10 other rescues that are going to be there with us, including 2 cat rescues. We do like cats too, and then we'll have a couple food trucks outside, and we've got vendors inside. One of our vendors is Dos Perros Coffee. We'll be there with their new Nitro Coffee. Pet Supplies Plus, some different vendors, and we'll have plenty of adoptable kiddos there ready for families, and it'll also be an educational type venue to educate the city and the people in the city on ways they can help.
Because right now, how many acres do you have and how many dogs now?
Well, we're very fortunate. We have 5 acres. It's our founder's home, and we have kennels out there, and right now we have about 170 dogs on that facility, and then we have about 400 plus in foster homes all across San Antonio. So fosters are huge. Fosters are the only way rescues can continue, and we need all rescues need fosters desperately.
All right, so foster, adopt, they can also do monetary ways of helping, and volunteering you mentioned too.
Volunteering is always important. There are all kinds of ways different rescues can use you, whether it's fostering, which is obviously critical, or volunteering just to help at events, walking the dogs, loving on the puppies,
towel sheets.
Yeah,
right?
Towels. Oh, a great way is to do neighborhood drives for towels and sheets. Rescues are always in need of towels and sheets. We can't keep in front of that need.
So many different ways. Again, the event on your screen right there, the Rescue United Adoption event, Saturday, June 25th from 11 to 6 p.m. You can head over to SALive.com for more information. Thank you so much.
No, thank you guys for having us.
All right, still ahead on SA Live. We tackled breakfast, but what dad doesn't want a good steak for Father's Day? We're sharing tips on how to nail your meat just like a steakhouse.
And they teamed up with KSAT to honor educators this school year. Now, First Smart Credit Union is planning ways to help next school year. What's in store for teachers and students? That's next. back to SA Live. They are committed to the success of schools and all who work hard and to impact the lives of our children. And First Mark Credit Union has big plans for the next school year. Here with us now is Marisa Perez Diaz, Executive Director for First Mark Foundation. Welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be with you, Jennifer.
I'm so happy you're here with us today. Now, the last time you joined us, you mentioned that you would be announcing your scholarship winners. Do you have an update for us today?
We do. So we have now awarded, and we've called all of them, so we've all been notified, 20 graduating seniors this year that will be receiving $1,000 each for the college, their institution of higher education of their choice as they transition into post-secondary education. So we're really excited about it. And we're just very grateful for our partnership with the San Antonio Area Foundation, who also helps to support our scholarship process. And so we couldn't do it without them.
Yes, and that's so helpful, right? Those scholarships for these students going into college here. And so you have a lot more you want to do to help schools. How are you planning for the upcoming school year?
Yes, so much like our school years are taking this summer to plan and PD and all those sorts of things, the foundation's really taking the time this summer to plan out what our collaborations will be and what our outreach will be like for our school districts moving forward. And so one of the things that we're working on right now is our academic planners. So for the last almost 40 years, the First Mark Credit Union has provided these academic planners for our teachers across the city, and so this is something we all know is really useful. It's a tool that so many of our educators and our school employees love to use. I know when I was in school districts, absolutely loved them. I can't break from some of those processes now, and so it's wonderful. And in addition to that, we're also planning our educator grant process. So those applications will open on September 1st. And close on October 23rd, and so more to come on that, but we have a lot that we're planning this summer.
Got it. Those planners are so helpful, right? You got to stay on track of everything.
Oh yeah, and I'm a color coder like crazy, so it
so
helps.
helpful. Yes. Now, what impact do the power of dollar checking and First Mark Foundation have on the education community?
Oh yeah, so through the power of the dollar checking account, we're able to raise funds for the foundation. Again, I've spoken about how we really work to democratize giving back to our community. And so through the contributions of our Power of the Dollar checking account members, we have been able to, I know I previously announced, provide an $80,000 grant to the Cast Teach High School in the Cast Schools Network, which will be opening this fall. So we're really excited to share more on that as the plans develop. But additionally, we've been able to in the past provide educator grants that I just spoke to, about 15 each year at $500 a piece. Because of the contributions of our Power of the Dollar checking account members, we've actually been able to increase that to 20 grants each year at $1,000 each. So it's really exciting because of the contributions and the growth of the Power of Dollar checking account. Our members are being able to, are in a position to give back even more now, and we just hope that that will continue to grow.
Wow, so much that you all do for educators and the entire education system. So thank you so much. For more information on First Mark Credit Union, you can give them a call, 210-442-0100, or visit their website, firstmarkcu.org. Marisa, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Still ahead on SA Live, summer's just getting started. Still plenty of time for a vacation. We check out one of the great getaways you can find in Texas and how you can stay there for free. And next, the extreme heat can make it tough to do a lot of things, including looking your best. We've got some tips to make sure your style and makeup are on point. Keep it right here. You're watching SA Live.
Welcome back to SA Live. Well, between the heat, the sweat, and jumping into the water, the first chance you get, looking your best during the hot South Texas summer. Hot being an understatement, more like scorching. Okay, it can be tough, right? But you're in luck because Elsa Fernandez from Eye Candy Boutique is here with your summer beauty skin survival guide. I am so happy because you always have the greatest ideas. Okay, and the first thing that we need to take care of course, is our skin, but it's sometimes the most overlooked, thing that we take care of, right?
Exactly, and it's the largest organ in the body. So you want to stay hydrated, not just with water, but your skin as well. The first tip I have is to moisturize while you're still damp. So straight out of the shower, not totally wet, but just a little damp. Put your moisturizer on, and then that way it locks in that moisture. If you're looking to try a new lotion, Neutrogena came out with the Hydro Boost Body Gel Cream, and it has hyaluronic acid. It's so soothing and cooling because you get a little bit of that coolness from the gel.
Okay, and then another one that's right next to it.
The next tip, so have you ever tried deodorant at night?
Well, I hope sometimes if you don't want to go smelly, yeah.
So
who am I sleeping next to?
That all depends.
Am I alone? All right, sorry, go ahead.
So if you're a night bather, you might want to, marinate meat. So you might as well try to put deodorant on before you actually need it, so that way the ingredients have time to start working, and then in the morning you're fresh and good to go.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
So yeah, definitely deodorant at night. Try that one out.
Okay, and then now that we took care of the basics, we can tackle looking good. What are some makeups that can withstand the heat?
This heat is downright disrespectful.
Okay.
What you don't want to do is put on thick foundation and sweat it off halfway through the day. So I suggest to look for non-comedogenic makeup, which is makeup that's not going to clog your pores. And obviously that means things that are more light in substance. So take a look, try to see if you can find a tinted skin serum or a tinted moisturizer or even a tinted SPF. And all these, since these are becoming more and more popular, pretty much every brand has their own version. So it's just a matter of if you prefer one brand over the other.
And don't knock those drugstore brands. There's some good ones there,
So
that
good.
you can find.
Yes.
And then, of course, if you're looking for a lighter makeup, this has been around, but it's great to remember.
It's great to remember that instead of using a thick cream-based lipstick that can bleed if you're sweating a lot, to try instead a lip tint or a lip stain. The good thing about lip stains is that you can layer them so as dark as you want them, and then blot them off if you don't want them to be so glossy. If you want them to just have a little bit of dewiness, you can add a balm on top, but they're really good because you can layer them.
All right, and then of course a lot of folks headed to the beach, the pools this summer, or you might just need to cry something out. What is give me something that's waterproof.
Exactly. So obviously majority of us have heard of waterproof mascara, waterproof eyeliner, but this Cover Stick concealer, you won't need to have your dark eyes showing underneath if you jump in the pool. If you use this CoverGirl Cover Stick, is really good. And then the other thing is, if you do want to do a full face of makeup, these eye shadow cream sticks are really, really good. They're in the blue. They're called, it's from the e.l.f. brand. Yeah. And they're really good at being waterproof and weatherproof.
Okay, and is there anything out there, of course, that is the foundation of the foundation, right?
Yes. You're gonna wanna build a good foundation just like with a house, but on your face. Instead of using these normal cream primers that we're used to, take a look. Most brands have new technology as far as primers are concerned. e.l.f. has this putty primer, and it's more of like a matte velvety finish, and it keeps you cool. This other one is my new favorite.
Don't be jelly.
Don't be jelly.
Unless you're with this.
You're not ready for this jelly, just like Beyonce says. This NYX product, the jelly dries with a little bit of shine, but it doesn't make you shiny. And it cools you off. It has aloe and cucumber and just makes you feel really refreshed.
So not just for your crackers or barbecue.
Exactly.
It's for your face. Okay, real quickly before we go.
Last but not least, blotting sheets, oil absorbing blotting sheets are your new best friend because you could have a tissue around, but it could leave residue. So just do yourself a favor and have these in your purse.
All right, for more information on Eye Candy Boutique and Elsa Fernandez, just head to our website, salive.com, and click on the As Seen on SA Live tab, or just snap that QR code on your screen. Thank you so much, Elsa.
Thank you.
All right, next on the show, is it better to leave the bone in or out? And what kind of pan should you use? We've got a professional chef showing you how to turn your kitchen into a steakhouse for Father's Day. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to SA Live. Between gas prices and everything else being so expensive right now, saving money on a good dinner at home might really be what Dad wants for Father's Day, right?
Yes, and here to help you make that meal as perfect as it can be is Chef Adrian Perez from Complete Eats, who's back with some great tips for cooking steak. Popular choice for many dads, right?
Absolutely. You know, every year I do a steak for Father's Day, and I was trying to come up with something new and like reinvent the wheel, and I thought, I just heard my dad's voice in my head. Back in the day when I was starting to cook, I would want to put all these fancy sauces on his steak, and he's like, son, I'm putting that raspberry Worcestershire, you know, we make a bunch of, so he's like, just put salt and pepper, because my dad's ready to eat potatoes. So we're gonna go back to basics today, talk about the process, what's the best way to do this, what not to do, what's a myth, and what really works.
Oh boy, we're gonna learn.
I know,
Okay,
I'm excited.
okay, all right. So you need to know what you're doing. What are those do's and don'ts?
So we're starting with a thick cut steak. So the thicker the steak, the more control you have over the outside being seared and browned and the middle not overcooking. So an inch to an inch and a half thick. You know, you've got your prime, you've got your select, and you've got your different grades of meat. So you always want to go with prime, that's going to be the best. And ribeye is what we're using today. It's got the most marbling, the most fats, and it's most delicious. So you can do a New York strip if you want something leaner, or, you know, I would stay away from sirloin. But, you know, you can go down the line there and get something leaner without less marbling if you're looking for something less. But we're doing ribeye today. It's all out for Dad, right?
Especially if you're a beginner, right?
Definitely, and you can't really overcook the ribeye. Even if it's well done, it's still really, really good. But you shouldn't have it well done. Okay. And you should have it rare either. You should have a medium rare. But anyway, start off by salting the meat for at least an hour. But what that's going to do, what that's going to do is it's going to draw out the moisture. And I took the liberty of salting these for you all already. Y'all get to cook your own steak each.
Oh boy.
Put that right there. So the salt's going to draw out moisture. You're going to see it puddle on top of the steak.
Okay.
And if you let it sit for about an hour, the salt's going to melt. It's going to make its own brine almost. And it's going to re-soak into the steak. So if you cook it before the hour, it's going to be tough and gritty. So make sure it re-soaks into the steak as well. Thank you. And then so once you do that, you can pat it dry, or you can let it sit overnight if you want to. And it's going to be dry on the outside. So moisture is the enemy of browning. So we don't want that. So we want that salt to really soak back in with the fluid. So once that's done, I add a little bit of roasted garlic, sea salt, and black pepper to it.
Again, simple, right?
Yes, very simple. You don't want to cover the flavor of the steak, really. And I've got roasted garlic in there, a little bit of black pepper, half cracked. You can season it heavy if you'd like. And I put a little bit of oil on the outside of my steak because it's like the glue that holds the seasoning on there. All right, so the skillet is cast iron. We want something that's going to hold a lot of heat. So even if because we're going to tilt that skillet while we baste it. So it's coming off the burner, right? So it's going to hold on to heat and it's going to cook the steak even though it's not directly on the heat. So you want something heavy and cast iron, best thing to do. I've got some grill pans here too. And so you want to add your oil first, not the butter, because the butter will burn on you. So we're cooking oil first.
Oil first.
Oil first. So we've got a nice preheated skillet. Make sure it's hot, and you like want to flirt with a smoke point, meaning you want to get the oil really hot till it's almost going to start smoking, and then you can start cooking the steak. Right. Now, a lot of people don't like to flip their steak over and over again. Supposedly it's okay. So the key behind that is you're getting an even cooking temperature on both sides by consistently flipping it over. You can go ahead and put yours on if you want to. And if you don't want to, you don't have to. You can let it sit there and do its job and cook, go have a beer, watch the game, but flipping it every about 15-20 seconds will develop that crust on the outside. That's what this is all about. And that oil is going to spike the temperature in the pan, and it's going to make that sear on the outside. And that's what seals in the juices for the meat.
Locks it in.
Right, exactly. So once that cooks a couple of minutes on each side, then we'll add the butter and the aromatics, like your herbs, your thyme. I've got rosemary, a little bit of tarragon, and I've got some shallots as well. So we'll stick those in there.
And this is something you can do inside. I mean, it's so hot out.
Right.
But if you're wanting to make a steak for dad.
Definitely. So you can see the brown starting to form. Now, bone in and bone out, you know, there's been some tests done. There's not really a big difference, but they noticed that where the bone was missing, it was drier on that early meat. Yeah, it just holds up. Right? It keeps the edges from overcooking, and it protects it from drying out. So there's a little more. But as far as flavor goes, truth is, here's the thing. Marinating can penetrate the meat about so far. I mean, it only goes a few millimeters, so you can't really make a huge impact on it. Same with the bone. The flavors in the marrow, we're not digging for the marrow, right? So, it's going to keep it moist, but I don't think it adds so much flavor. So we can debunk that one.
Okay. See, I didn't know that. I was always full bone in it. We're all, that's how you're going to get all the juice and flavor. Right. Okay.
Now, when you're cooking the meat, the juices are going to start to flow throughout the meat. That's why you see them come to the top. Okay, so you don't want to poke or prod the meat too many times, or poke it with a thermometer. You're creating pockets which leak out, right?
Okay.
And your tendons and all those fibers are going to really tense up. That's why you see it curl up sometimes. So that can be a thing. But
it has happened, right? Yeah.
So you start to see the brown forming. So we'll go ahead and add the butter in, because these are a little bit thinner than I wanted them to be. But add it where the handle is, because you're going to want to pour it back like so. Okay. Okay. In go your herbs, your aromatics, and they're going to fuse with that butter right away. Watch out.
Okay.
Never cook a steak without a shirt. I did it once. It didn't work out. And we'll add some garlic cloves as well. Just open them up. Keep them kind of rough.
It smells amazing, right?
Oh, well, it smells like it. We're going to keep you on low there.
So it's kind of like you're making your own herb and butter, right?
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
So does it matter, like what kind of oil you use? Do you prefer olive oil?
So it's a high smoke point like canola would be fine, or grapeseed oil, something neutral.
Yeah.
So olive oil will add flavor, which is not bad for a steak, and then grapeseed is neutral, it'll enhance flavor. Okay. Canola just has no effect in it at all. So,
okay. All right,
I see how you're doing this. Yeah.
Right.
I'm watching.
So
you can't walk away from this pan, though, right?
No,
you're like tucking it into bed. You're like, we're going to put this blanket right on it.
And that hot butter is going to actually help cook, like the spots that turn kind of gray and won't touch the skillet very well.
Right.
It'll help cook those spots, okay?
Okay.
So you got to kind of babysit it. You got to keep an eye on it. But once you get the hang of it, it turns out really well. And the butter's going to turn nice and golden brown.
Look at
One thing you should always remember to do if it comes to steak. Do you have one thing that people can keep in mind?
Let it rest.
Okay.
Let your meats rest. So once that goes on, we'll let the meat rest about 10 minutes. It's going to rise about 5 degrees, so pull it off about 5 degrees under what you want it to be done. And then
because it'll continue.
Yes, and let the juices settle back in, let them redistribute. Don't cut it open right away because the juices will leak out. And there you have it.
Let it rest for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Remember that, folks, okay? 5 degrees under, bring it to 10 and let it sit for 10 minutes. All right, thank you so much. For more information on Complete Eats and Chef Adrian Perez, because he can absolutely cook a fabulous meal for you, head to our website, salive.com, and click on the As Seen on SA Live tab, or just snap that QR code on your screen.